I'm Tim Marlow, and every month I'll be bringing you my personal selection of the most exciting events and exhibitions from across the international calendar. This month, an exhibition in Germany reassesses some of the most prominent female nudes ever painted in the 20th century. And across the US, an abstract expressionist great is given a new perspective. The first ever substantial exhibition devoted to the draftsmanship of a Florentine master. And an English multidisciplinary artist and designer pushes the boundaries in New York. But first to the Metropolitan Museum of Art and an ambitious exhibition exploring an expansive but underrepresented area of cultural history. There have been various attempts to summarise the art and culture of Byzantium and of Africa, and almost by definition the subjects are too vast. But by bringing them together and looking in a new way at the importance of North and East Africa to the development of the pre-modern world through the lens of the Byzantine Empire, well, this looks compelling. The show in New York is titled Africa and Byzantium, and it comprises over 200 objects, from frescoes and mosaics to jewellery and manuscripts borrowed from many of the great collections, spanning over 10 centuries of complex cultural exchange and influence. My second pick is at the Staatsgalerie Stuttgart and takes a look with fresh and defiant eyes at a 20th century Italian artist and the many women he painted. While his brief and tragic life alongside his distinctive style of painting tend to underpin most Modigliani exhibitions, this one, Modigliani Modern Gazes, focuses on his portraits of modern women from bohemian Paris, who stare unapologetically at the viewer, defiant, and as the director of the Staatsgalerie Christiane Lange puts it, emancipated. Works by German-speaking contemporaries Paula Modersohn-Becker, Jeanne Mamon, Egon Schiele, Gustav Klimt and Wilhelm Lembruck also feature in a show that promises range as well as depth, placing Modigliani in the wider cultural context of the young European avant-garde. Next, a master of colour and emotion, but this time with a step away from the canvas in Washington, DC. Mark Rothko's career has been extensively and wonderfully explored over the past decades. A journey from figuration to abstraction, from mythological and surrealist imagery to intensely moving soft-edged rectangular fields of colour, aimed, Rothko once observed, to express basic human emotions. Tragedy, ecstasy, doom and so on. And the fact that a lot of people break down and cry when confronted with my pictures, he added, shows that I can communicate those basic human emotions. Exhibitions have always focused on his canvases, but Rothko drew no distinction between them and his paintings on paper, some of which were up to 7 feet tall and which will form the basis of a groundbreaking show at the National Gallery of Art in Washington, Mark Rothko Paintings on Paper. Many of the watercolours, acrylics and oil paintings on paper have never been seen before, although they were regarded as finished works by the Latvian-born abstract expressionist. All of them will also feature in a new catalogue raisonné of all Rothko's works on paper, so it seems that we'll have a new way of looking at one of the most looked at of 20th century American masters. An exhibition at the Legion of Honor in San Francisco is giving a new line on one of the great Renaissance painters, with a rare chance to assess his graphic output. Although his reputation dwindled until the Pre-Raphaelites rediscovered his work in the 19th century, Sandro Botticelli is now one of the most revered of all the great Renaissance artists. There has, however, never been a significant exhibition of his drawings. So this is an admirable and important project which will give us the chance to trace his artistic journey in a more intimate way than ever before. The exhibition, entitled Botticelli Drawings, also includes a number of significant paintings. And finally, the unparalleled Devlin takes centre stage in New York with her first major monographic museum show. Devlin is a polymath and then some, with a wide-ranging practice that incorporates stage design at the National Theatre and La Scala in Milan, to set designs for Beyoncé and the Super Bowl show with Dr. Dre and Kendrick Lamar, not to mention immersive installations from Tate Modern to the Lincoln Center. She's utterly compelling but hard to classify, which is why it's appropriate that Devlin herself will install her 30-year archive across the top floor of the Cooper Hewitt Smithsonian Design Museum, featuring over 300 sketches, paintings, cutouts and maquettes, in order to help viewers understand her work better. And Atlas of S. Devlin, as the project is called, will also stage a replica of her London studio, along with giant film installations and a library programme including collective readings and the chance to participate in a cumulative artwork. So there you have it, my selection of must-see shows from around the world this November. I do hope you get to see at least one of them.